Hi there, listener. You're about to experience TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games, and there will be plenty of game talk, but also copious amounts of crude, off-color, offensive, and immature speech. So if you are of a rather sensitive humor constitution, we're just letting you know what you're in for with this show. It has games. It has jokes. You know, just games and jokes. Take the games, take the jokes, and have a good time.
Hello, Internet, and welcome to another TADPOG podcast. It's a show that happens twice a week where two old guys talk about old games.
We're kicking it old school.
Fuck, man.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time since we've said that.
I can't even remember the last time it was just you and me. It probably, embarrassingly, wasn't that long ago.
I don't know. I think it's pretty long. We were going to have a third, and then Josh Nance was like, I don't like you guys anymore.
Yeah, I think it was actually Nicole didn't want him to tie
her record,
right,
yep.
for a number of guest hosts.
She had words about that last night when I was like, hey, do Punch Out. And she's like, you're
No,
busy.
I can't.
You're very busy tomorrow. And he was really confused for about 5 minutes.
I was too. I didn't know. I was like, wow, Nicole really plans out Josh's schedule.
She runs a tight ship over there at the Nance house.
She also gave no indication that she was joking either.
She just kind of grinned, but wouldn't say what she meant. Well, today, it's Original Flavor Wednesday.
Yeah, it's cozy.
Me and you, just us on IGN's Top 100 Super Nintendo games.
Couple bros talking about IGN's, what? 17th ranked Super Nintendo game? Super Punch-Out?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Let me get some burps out.
Yeah.
I'm your bearded host, Tyler, and starting about 2006, my sleep quit working.
You just stopped.
My sleep just like, oh, no, we're done. We're done. We're going to be weird now.
Any correlation? Like, did you have like a major emotional scarring in 2006?
I started playing Final Fantasy 11.
Okay. That'll do it.
So I think that's like...
Yeah, there's your answer.
Because where I started staying up late, and then it's just like my sleep just... I could never ride it ever again.
You did forsake it.
Yeah, well, I spent a good 6 months trying to get like my sleep schedule back on track, and I was sleeping like every other day. My go to bed routine was watching Tyra Banks' her talk show.
Well, that explains it too.
Comes on like 9 in the morning, so that was bedtime for me. I remember every other day, 9 o'clock, I would get up just in time to go deliver pizzas about 5.
Your life sounded like it was awesome. Tyra Banks, Final Fantasy 11, and pizza.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Living with Meg and Josh.
What's great about that is like you can look back at that now and be like, yeah, things turned out pretty good. At least I'm not like, going to bed with Tyra Banks coming on at 9 in the morning.
But that's, my mom has really bad sleep issues. So does my brother. So when it was my turn, then I started taking Ambien.
Yes.
And I think I've told a few Ambien-related stories.
I think you have.
But Ambien, it works. It will put you to sleep, but there's this little window before you go to sleep where...
Magic happens.
Yeah. Your mind and soul go to the outlands, and your body's just left to do whatever it wants to do.
Astral projection.
Yeah. And I've since, after many Ambien-related stories, now I've switched to Lunesta, which doesn't get you as high, because Ambien totally gets you high.
Like, that's why they make Ambien.
Yeah. It's legal. It's a legal way to get high for about 45 minutes before you fall asleep.
I like to think it's like Ambien was invented by a Colombian drug cartel. They just discovered that it makes you fall asleep. They were like, you know what? We should sell this to the pharmaceuticals.
Who needs this? Americans.
Big pharma. Is Lunesta, is that the one that has the, this is an old ass commercial that has like the light moth flying around at night?
That is it.
Yeah, that's good branding. I remember that.
It has similar, it just doesn't get you high, but it will have similar effects. Because whenever Ambien was just like, God, the shit I would do. I've got a few regretful recalls.
Yeah, excellent.
When I was in culinary school, I was very close friends with 3 girls. And One of them,
This sounds like a dating sim setup.
one of them had I had sort of a thing with, and one night she came over to hang out. We watched Requiem for a Dream for some reason.
That's a good one to watch.
And see what pissed me off.
Someone you kind of have a thing with.
And we were watching it, and we were watching it on my Xbox. And for some fucking reason, it still pisses me off. She was really into it. And once the Requiem part at the end, as soon as it started, DVD jammed up. And that train derailed. I put it back in, and you can't just jump right back into the heaviness and the shifting of the scenes and have the same impact if you have to stop, take out, figure out the DVD. But after that, then I remember we both had class in the morning, so
Did you just act out the rest of Requiem for a Dream for her?
I take heroin and I throw up into the laundry and
You go ass to ass. Let's not leave that out. That's the part we're all waiting for.
But I took we had class. I took my Ambien. Then I remember, I don't know, we were hanging out. Then we went to bed and we're sleeping in the same bed. And my back's to her. Ambien me's like, well, why don't you just kiss her? But that's it. So I turned over and I was like, hey. She's like, what? And I kissed her. And then a weird elementary school boy, I just flipped back around and wouldn't turn back around and look at her or talk to her. I kissed for 10 seconds and then just nope.
And then what did she do?
There was a few minutes of her just kind of laying there, and she was like, you can do that again. I was like, okay. And I did it again and then flipped right back over and ignored her. Only this time, whenever she said something again,
what are you doing?
I just wouldn't talk to her, and I just went to bed.
What are you doing?
I don't know. Because our friendship was really weird from that point.
Oh, I bet it was.
It was pretty much
I
done.
bet it was.
So the next morning when she went to class, hers was an hour before mine, and she's like, okay, see ya. And I vaguely remembered what happened, and I was like, okay, later.
See, that's really weird because usually drugs have an opposite effect. And they usually end with, I don't know, a sex story.
Nope, not this one. It's just a weird kissing story. There was a time I text everyone in my phone when I was I'd come back home and I was staying at my mom's house for the weekend at culinary school.
Okay.
I lived in Louisville. I came back for the weekend.
I'm sitting here, I'm trying to
I was
think
at my mom's.
of any weird text I got from you.
But I text people that I just had their phone number, or maybe I went to school with them. Maybe I had a class with them at Murray State and I've never spoken to them. I text everybody at 3 a.m.
The texting hour.
I got, oh man, the next day I looked at my inbox and I was like, man, I text my lab partner I haven't spoken to in 4 years. Hey, took some Ambien, what are you up to?
What were they up to?
Most did not reply.
Yeah. Imagine that.
One girl who was really into drugs asked me if I had any Lortabs I would sell her.
Well, okay.
I was like,
only if I can kiss you and turn over.
There was one time I went on a big spree. I took Ambien and then went and posted the full script of Ghostbusters on everybody's wall.
Oh, that's a gift.
And that takes a long time because you can only put so many characters even on Facebook. So it's 10 or 11 posts of just these huge walls of text of the Ghostbusters script.
Did you type it out?
No, I just cut and paste from.
Could have been a great typing exercise.
Fuck you, Mavis Beacon. I got Ambien and Ghostbusters. Remember there was a time I was eating sorbet when I was on Ambien, and I could have swore my friend Maxine's face was in the sorbet, and I freaked out about it.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
I thought it was this sorbet looks just like Maxine. And I called her and I really gushed about, this sorbet's pretty. You're pretty. I can see your pretty face in this sorbet.
All right. Are you sure that one was Ambien?
Yeah, that was totally Ambien.
Wow, Ambien sounds awesome.
Yeah, it is. If you remember it, yeah, it is pretty awesome.
Yeah, which you are doing very good.
And if you can control that weirdness and social shame.
Is there social shame with Ambien?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Well, I know I didn't have the side effect of getting up and going places.
Yeah.
But my aunt took an Ambien and does not remember going to CVS and spending $400 on makeup. she just like woke up the next morning and like all over the room was all sorts of makeup from CVS.
That's not social shade. That's just Christmas came early. What's up, Internet? I'm Dave. I'm your bespectacled host. And the whole reason that Tyler talked to you today about Ambien was because right before recording, I said, hey, man, are you cool if I tell the Internet about Lunesta? He was like, yeah, why? And I was like, because you said some shit the other night, and I would like to bring it up on the show.
Lunesta doesn't really get you high until you mix it with alcohol.
Yeah, you had a nice little cocktail going. What was in that backyard burger cup?
Let's see. Well, I had taken one Lunesta, 2 Benadryl,
right,
and then my restless legs medication because I have restless legs.
These are all necessary things. These are all necessary things.
Because I take the Benadryl that gets me warmed up to go to sleep. The Lunesta puts me to sleep, and the restless legs keeps me asleep.
There you go. The holy trinity.
But like I was at a hard cider.
Okay. Oh wow, you're gonna have some hard cider with that?
I was. Usually I will have like one can.
Okay.
And then I'm good.
Want to give them a plug? Maybe they'll sponsor us after this.
But I was out last night, and the only thing I had in the fridge was a bottle of Riesling white wine.
Okay.
Yeah, Yellowtail Riesling.
That's what Tim Bear was drinking when he was on.
Because Tim brought it over and left it, and I was like, "This is all that's left." Man, I don't like white wine. I poured it in a backyard burger cup, and we're playing games. You're playing Punch Out. I'm watching you, just drinking that. I was like, I don't like the taste of this.
No, I don't blame you.
So then I had to add Sprite to it.
Right.
So I had a cup half full of white wine, half full of Sprite.
How did that taste?
It wasn't bad.
I could tell you really enjoyed it. Here's what I like.
I had to finish the bottle.
Here's what I like the most about playing Super Punch Out with you was that this was going on, and then all of a sudden you get up and you're like, "You want some food?" I was like, "Yeah, of course I want some food." You came back with a sliced chicken sandwich, a can of habanero Pringles, a peanut everything bagel with peanut butter and honey, and coconut almonds, and some spicy peanuts.
Chipotle peanuts.
Now, do you remember, my story revolves around the coconut almonds. Do you remember bringing those out? Mm-hmm. Okay. You brought those out, and then from this point forward, you thought I was Josh.
I don't remember that part.
From this point forward, because what happened was you opened the coconut almonds and you're like, I know you're not gonna like these, but I've got these. And I was like, no, man, I love coconut. And you're like, oh yeah, that's Josh. And then for some reason, like when you said that, like your wires just got switched for the entirety of the rest of the night. You just thought it was Josh. To one point, you said something like, I couldn't tell if you were just fucking with me, because I was just like, I don't know if he's fucking with me or if this is for real. Because at one point you said something about you brought up the coconut almonds again, just randomly, and you're like, yeah, I forgot. You like these? It's the or you don't like these? Is the other guy who does? And I was like, I'm the fucking other guy. Whatever, man.
I don't remember that at all.
I laughed about that for a long time.
You just dawned on my memory about like 10 years till right before I'd met you, and I only knew Josh.
I thought it was pretty funny. And that's the point where I was like, man, I think Tyler might have had too much wine. I'm positive he thinks that I'm Josh right now.
You should have baited me. Like, remember that time in like middle school when we sucked each other's dicks? Yeah, I remember that, Josh. Man.
Holy shit. I didn't like it very much, did you?
That's not what you said when I was doing it. Monster rain and shit.
Hey, let's go record a podcast right now.
Man, that would have been pretty funny.
So I wanted to share that. I thought it was hilarious. I know it's not a story about me, but just you thinking I'm Josh and calling me the other guy was... At one point, I was almost like, we've been hosting a podcast together for like 2 years, man.
You were at my wedding. We were at each other's weddings. The
other guy?
you hear that?
What's that?
That's the
The sad social stigma train?
yep. Or that's the train that I think is conducted by Josh, but it's actually conducted by you.
We switch out. Yeah, I hear that. It sounds like the Dave reads from Wikipedia train.
The other guy reads from Wikipedia.
The other guy reads from Wikipedia. I'm going to be doing this in the Josh voice. No, I'm not going to do that to you, Josh. Okay, guys. Super Punch Out! Exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Let me try that again. Super Punch Out!
Yeah.
Is a boxing video game developed and published by Nintendo for the SNES Super Famicom. It was released on September 14th, 1994. We are coming up on the 20th anniversary. Am I doing my math right?
Man, that makes me feel really old.
I think that math is right. 20th anniversary of Super Punch Out. I think we need to do something special for it. Let's not publish this episode until September 14th.
Wait.
Let's do it out of order. It came out in Europe on January 26, 1995, in Japan in 1998, which I thought was really weird that we got it first in North America. Weird. I don't know if boxing is big in Japan. Maybe it's not.
It's not something I've ever heard about being popular.
So maybe that has something to do with it. I just thought it was weird. We normally get Nintendo games after Japan.
Yeah.
In Super Punch Out, the player controls Little Mac as he fights his way to become the World Video Boxing Association champion, the WVBAs. They're a pretty big deal.
Yeah, pretty big deal.
Players fighting from a behind-the-back perspective must knock out their opponent in 3 minutes to win. Players can launch jabs, hooks, and uppercuts against their opponents, as well as block, dodge, and duck opponents' attacks. Nintendo integrated research and development led by Genyo Takeda, Minoru Arakawa, sorry guys, and Makoto Wada developed the game. It features voice acting by Charles Martinet.
Okay.
That is the guy who I think goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is the weirdest number.
And says all the boxers' names.
Yeah, forgot about that.
But this game, on my top 10 of all-time games that I personally love.
Ever.
This is on it.
Ever. Where would you put it? High in the top 10 or close to 1?
Bottom 5. Bottom 5.
So best 5. Best 5, worst 5.
5 through 10.
Okay,
somewhere in 5 through 10.
Okay.
But it's not something that it's my outlier. Looking at my games map, this is an outlier that would not be something that I would love as much as I do.
Why? Because it's a sports game?
It's a sports game. There's not story. There's not exploration. There's a lot of things that I really play video games to experience, not here. I don't do stuff. I don't play stuff for I don't do speed runs. I don't do stuff, for time. It's just, but this game, all that kind of stuff, yeah.
You do for this.
I do in this game.
Did you own it as a kid?
I did.
Okay. Do you think that has something to do with it?
Yeah, I think because small list of games to play whenever I was younger, and then my dad randomly bought this for me. Maybe I got it for
your
my
dad
birthday.
bought this.
My dad.
Your
bought
dad,
this.
the one your dad does not like video games,
Right.
notoriously.
Right. But
Except for Sonya Blade.
My dad loves boxing, though. My dad is a fanatic about boxing. I remember when I think about my dad, I generally think about him out in the garage painting a car.
Moonwalking.
Moonwalking and singing to the cathedrals. Or he's in the living room in a white t-shirt and tidy whities with a glass of milk and Oreos or cornbread or white bread shoved in the milk glass.
Man, this story keeps getting weirder. Does he have a Backyard Burgers cup full of wine?
And he was always watching boxing. Every night he always watched some form of boxing.
And he boxed too, didn't he?
Yeah. He boxed when he was young. He took me I took less boxing lessons
because I remember you mentioned that on the show.
Chico, yeah. So we played this a lot together because we were about the same pace. Because it was one of the more bonding moments I had with my dad, talking about different boxers and their techniques, and then we would help each other.
So he was actually good at this game.
He never got past the world circuit.
And the world circuit being the last circuit, or is that the one before the last?
It's the last circuit. It's because it goes minor, major, world, and then there's the special circuit that you unlock.
Okay.
So he never could beat Super Macho Man.
So he is.
World
So he
circuit.
was pretty good at this game.
He's pretty good at it.
Because I think like this game is pretty difficult. Like you may not think it's difficult because you're really good at this game.
Well, going back and playing through it, like I felt shitty when we were playing through because I know I'm better than this.
Yeah, you got pretty mad.
Because I remember like this game was like I had a record that was like 300-0 and then
300 wins.
300 wins,
Zero
zero
losses.
Like even when I played through this at the cabin last year, I blew through it without, the only person who knocked me down was Macho Man.
Maybe that's because there was all the guys were there pumping you up, inspiring you. No, maybe.
But like playing through back like today is like it was rough. It took me a while to find my groove again, but
it looked hard. From what I played, it was hard. I mean, I only got through to the first 2 circuits. I finished those, and I had
Sandman.
I had a really hard time with Sandman. Like it got to the point where it was like I could probably beat this, but I really would have to like play it and learn it, which I would totally be willing to do if I didn't have to record a podcast about it like in 20 minutes, that kind of deal. I never played this as a kid. I did play Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
See, this was my first Punch-Out. I never played the NES one.
I can't believe I didn't play this one because this game looks great and it plays great and it like plays. This is going to sound crazy to all my NES brethren out there, but like this game is better than Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Like definitely better.
I'm glad you said that because I was worried about it was my bias because afterward I went back to play both versions, Mike Tyson's and Punch-Out, and I just did not think it was nearly as good.
I love Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. I never got to Mike Tyson as a kid, unless I put the code in that was in the instruction booklet at the Rent-A-Center or the rental place. But this game, like, introduced new elements that Mike Tyson's Punch-Out didn't have. Like, it introduces a mechanic where Little Mac becomes energized. That wasn't in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
You go through like your second wind and getting tired and things like that, so your punches are a lot faster and hit harder. Or when you slow down when you're tired, you're fatigued, they're slower. Your dodges are slower.
So I thought that was super interesting, and I thought that the other mechanic with the Super Punch was really interesting because if there was a mechanic like that in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, I didn't know about it. There are a lot of things.
Because you got like the star hits.
You got the star hits. And like I know those were important, but like I couldn't pull those off. So I really don't know much about them. But I do know that in this game, in Super Punch-Out, like it's just straight up like a mechanic in the game that you are intended to utilize. And I think a lot of the fights you have to utilize them, or else
you wouldn't be able to beat your opponent in 3 minutes.
Yeah, you run out of your timer will run out.
So let's see. Because I remember living in the dollar house and playing this game like so much. My brother got into it. My brother he's 5 years younger than me. So when we were playing this, I was in middle school. He was in elementary school.
Okay.
Because have I told the bear hugger story?
No, I don't think you have told the bear hugger.
But at the end credits, bear hugger's like, somebody could beat me in 17 seconds. And I think the world record for bear hugger is something like it's a little lower than that, but like 17 is a really, really good time.
Bear hugger is an opponent boxer, and he is I would say a giant sweaty lumberjack kind of guy.
He's patterned after King Hippo.
Yeah, from Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
So you can only hit if you try to hit him in the stomach. He laughs at you. You can't do any damage. You have to hit him in the face, and he always counters you. There are a few gaps in his pattern to exploit to try and speed up your time, but I remember I had done it because I wanted that record so badly. I think I'd gotten to like 19 seconds, maybe 18 seconds.
That's pretty good.
And like I just could not do it. So I sat it down in frustration and I went to use the bathroom. And when I come back, my brother has just beaten Bear Hugger with like 17 seconds, maybe like 16 and a half seconds, something like ridiculous. And I flipped out once at first in anger. And then it's like, do that again. And then like the next time, then he like lost the bear hugger. So I don't know what happened then, what my brother did in that second. Like me going to pee and coming back, he had beaten bear hugger.
He tapped the wizard, man. He just for a moment evoked the wizard.
He's still like we will still joke about it now. And he's like, I don't know. I've tried it again too, like so many times. Nope, can't come close.
Maybe it's like just one out of like, I don't know, once per cartridge Bear hugger just stands there. Maybe that's like programmed in, which is like once in like every 3 million times you turn the game on, he just stands there, and it's really easy to beat him. And you missed it because you went to the bathroom.
Yep.
That's the obsessive compulsive shit that like keeps me playing games. Where it's like I trick myself and start playing mind games where it's like, you know what? I bet they programmed this game so like one time you just beat him. You don't even have to try. He just stands there.
It's just done. The only thing that I think this game kind of lacking in like the music, I don't feel is particularly memorable or like nothing stands out about it.
Yeah, I almost feel like music would be like distracting though.
Yeah.
Because there's like no music during the match.
Yeah, it's just the boxing sounds and the sound effects.
And then there's the tweeting bird at the end of the
That
end of the
drives
match.
Meg crazy.
Which I didn't even notice until she pointed it out.
But let's see, you start off, Little Mac, you're in the minor circuit, and there's four circuits, 4 fighters per circuit.
Can I talk about Little Mac for just a second?
Yes, go ahead.
Just a second. Little Mac had a makeover. I don't know what happened to Little Mac.
Get rid of that pink sweatsuit.
Little Mac went from being like a toe-headed boy to some Dragon Ball Z character.
That's true. He does look very anime.
Very, very anime.
He's very ripped.
So I remember when I saw it, I was like, because I hadn't played this game ever, and I was like, I thought, did they get rid of Little Mac? And then they start calling you Little Mac. I was like, I don't think this is right. I think that this guy might have murdered Little Mac and stole his identity.
I've seen this game referenced as the best sequel you might have never heard of. Because a lot of people talk about Punch-Out. Really, yes, everybody loves it. But whenever I bring up, have you played Super Punch-Out? There's a Super Punch-Out. Like, I don't know what went wrong trying to bring this game over, especially with the other one being so popular. But
do you think? I think the other one was super popular because of Mike Tyson. Like I really do. Like I think that was just kind of because Mike Tyson was really big, when that game came out.
Then,
like super, super big. I think that's why people got like really into that one. And then because I think like regular non-video gamers like knew about that game because Mike Tyson was in it.
Yeah.
But I think once you remove that element, maybe that had something to do with it.
it's got to be because there's no particular draw, I guess, to bring non-hardcore gamers out of it.
It's a shame though, because this game is, I think, objectively better.
Yeah. And because the thing about Super Punch-Out is Little Mac and you're fighting these caricatures of boxers. They each have their own style and personality, and they're all more and more increasingly bombastic. Because you start off in the minor circuit, you're fighting Gabby J. Gabby J's record is like 99-1.
He's an old dude.
He's an old guy.
Dude.
This is a callback to the original Punch-Out. His only victory is against Glassjaw Joe, who you have to beat to even be considered a boxer. So since then, he's never won again.
And I think that Glassjaw Joe had a 1 win as well. And I think Mike Tyson in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out says that he's only lost to one opponent. And people like to theorize that was Glassjaw Joe.
Yeah.
But do you think that Gabby J is Bailey J's grandfather?
I've got Bailey J written right above Gabby J in my notes. I hope so.
Because that's all I could think about. Was I feel really bad for knocking out Bailey J's grandfather. Because we love Bailey J on the show.
I remember playing this with Brandon, and he was like, I'm fighting Jabby Gay? No, Brennan, it's Gabby J.
Which I made that reference as well.
Because he's an old guy, very slow punches, he's your introductory boxer. And then you fight Bear Hugger.
Which we know you can beat in 17 seconds, unless you're Tyler. Or me, because I'm lucky to beat him in like 2 minutes.
Because everyone in the minor circuit is drastically different. Bear Hugger is completely different in form to Gabby J, because big guy in overalls, teaches you that you have to hit, in the face, and then you have to duck and dodge side to side. Gabby J, you can kind of just basically just punch.
Yeah, Gabby J is not very tough on it.
And after Bear Hugger, then there's Piston Hurricane.
Piston Hurricane is a black man with a mohawk. Is that right? And I think that it's interesting because in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, there was Piston Hondo. Do you remember him?
Yep.
I think he was Japanese. So I want there to be a connection there. I want Piston to be a boxing style or something that these guys train together in the same boxing dojo.
See, I hope so, because some boxers will have their own little, usually how you frequently beat them is technical knockout when you knock them down 3 times in a row. You can knock them out, but it's hard to do.
I've never done that.
Yeah, and a lot of people like, and all the time I've played this, there have been some people I just have never come close to knocking out. Like Sandman, I can't imagine actually getting a knockout on Sandman or Bald Bull for that matter. But Piston Hurricane, you can knock out. I think my record with him might have been like 8 seconds. You can knock him out pretty easily.
Which is insanity. You are very good at this game. Like 8 seconds is not like a regular time.
So even playing through it again, I think 11 seconds was what I did.
Something like
not
that.
Playing through it, you just have to know, because almost every boxer has a one-hit kill. Like you just have to know where that moment is, and if you hit them in that moment, they're just automatically knocked out.
And Little Mac feels no remorse for killing in the ring.
Nope.
Zero.
Nope.
Zero remorse. He just jumps up and down, and he has like weird back butt.
It's his jaw laxals. His
jaw laxals.
So overdeveloped. But Piston Hurricane, because he has a thing where his trainer will call out his move to do.
Yeah.
And depending on what the trainer says, they'll have a little scenario of moves they'll go through that you have to either block or know how to counter. The first you really see is Piston Hurricane, because he'll go off to the side, come back, and then just hit you with a lot of fast high and low punches.
Right. You have to block high, block low, block high, block low, block high.
Yeah, for like 20 punches, and then he'll end with an uppercut. And then either you can try to interrupt or hit him right before it happens, or just block and endure it and then keep going. But his tell is basically when he goes off, and the second he steps back in, if you hit him, he flies into the guardrail and is knocked out.
And it makes a wonderful noise. They make a wonderful noise when they're knocked out.
Yeah.
Very Three Stooges, this game.
And it kind of is.
Well, and this might not be a good time to talk about it, but like I think one of the reasons that I like this game as a sports game is I barely consider it a sports game. Like it is a sports game because boxing is most definitely a sport, and you are doing that in the game, and you are applying boxing techniques in this game, but it's very
not a simulation.
It's not. It's arcadey. It's the sprites are cartoonish, which is amazing. They do such a good job of the art in this game because all these boxers that you're fighting, they're super interesting. They have personality just immediately when you see them. It's almost like Pixar level, where you see a character and it's like, oh, I pretty much get an idea what this character is all about.
Yeah.
I really, really like that. I think that this had it more so than Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Because you're right. And everybody has like their little things that they say beforehand. They have what they say to you before and after, depending on if you lose to them, and then try to go back and fight them again.
And they're all super stylized because I know we're not to this fighter yet, but Dragon Chan, his coach also calls out to him, but he calls out to him in kanji, which I think is just amazing because it's just this little detail where it's like all the other coaches are speaking to their boxers in English, and then you have Dragon, and he's Chinese. And so it would make sense that his coach is Chinese and he would yell at him in Chinese and you wouldn't understand what he's saying.
Yeah, you have no idea what's coming. Because then Bald Bull, who he was from,
makes his
original
return.
Punch Out. His thing is going to the opposite side of the ring and charging in at you.
We know.
Deliver a one. If he hits you, you're out. But if you can interrupt him and hit him, then of course you knock him out.
Doom, doom, punch. Got him.
Yep. After you beat him in clear the minor circuit, you could open up the major circuit. Bob Charlie.
Right, Bob Marley.
He's Jamaican, and he's, oh, hey, man,
It's Bob Marley if he were the general manager of an O'Charlie's. We call him Bob Charlie. It's also an appetizer at O'Charlie's. Have you tried the Bob Charlie's?
The Bob Charlie. I never liked fighting Bob Charlie because his pattern is just kind of slow, and you can't just get it over with. He's not difficult. It's just kind of a dragged out fight. It's the least favorite fighter in that circuit.
Here's what I don't like about that fight. You know this. You might have been lunested out at this point. I don't know. His coach just incessantly yells the entire battle, the entire fight. He's just like, shuck and jive, Bob, shuck and jive. And it's just flashes on the screen, just like over and over and over again. It's just so fucking annoying.
I remember you getting mad. It's like, shut the fuck up, trainer. And then it's Dragon Chan.
Yeah, which
he's sort of patterned after Jackie Chan because he starts kicking.
I think more Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee?
Yeah, I really do.
Okay.
I think more Bruce Lee because like he even
Yeah, I don't know why I even said that. Clearly, it's Bruce Lee.
and like he's dressed, he's shirtless. He's like Bruce Lee from Return of the Dragon. He's got his I don't even know what you call them, the
Pants.
the pants, the black pants. One of the things that you put that hide your wiener.
Leg shirts.
Yep, he's wearing his black leg shirts, and he kicks. Like you said, this is the gentleman who was yelled at in Chinese.
Because he has 3 strong moves. Because his punches they're more karate chops, and they're kind of
Oh man, they're so hard to read.
Yeah, there's
So
a clear
hard.
tell to what's coming.
Oh man,
And then you'll see the kanji, and then you've got where he'll do these side kicks that each one is like half your hit
Yeah,
points.
he does like
It
3
can
in a row.
destroy you.
and it's either left side or right side, and you just gotta like roll with it and dodge out of the way because like if one hits you, you're done.
His worst one is where he will jump from like rope to rope, clearing the whole boxing ring, and then do a devastating kick to your head.
Yeah.
And you have to duck it. If you don't, you're automatically knocked out.
Let me just say, if real boxing was like this, I would watch a lot more real boxing. And don't even come at me with that mixed martial arts bullshit because this is more entertaining.
I'm pretty sure this is an Ultimate Fighter. I'm pretty sure they jumped octagon side to octagon side. Pretty sure that was Tank Abbott's thing. Pretty sure.
This did not take place on an octagon. That's what they fight in, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, this did not take place in an octo.
But he's the first guy. He really spams the hell out of those devastating moves.
Yeah, and he heals himself.
And his last one is where he'll like phase out for a second and meditate and recover his health. And I didn't know until the other night when we were fighting him, that's his moment where you can knock him out.
Yeah, thanks for looking that up because it's really
no
easy
idea.
to knock him out doing that because he just stands there right in front of you. But yeah, I think this is where the game started to get really difficult for me because the fight is completely
Meg's
different.
here
Hey, Meg.
to give me the baby monitor.
Give me baby monitor because I'm going to bed.
Okay.
So you're going to get up with that baby.
Yep.
Get out the wash bottle.
Okay.
You got bottle washing detail? What'd you do to get that?
Didn't get up at 3 a.m.
She's talking about her dirty boobs.
Overnight.
She's like, you have to watch the bottles. These are dirty. Dirty titty. Dirty titty.
See you, Meg.
So if you hear clicks and beeps, that's the baby monitor.
That's just a robot baby that Tyler spawned.
the surrogate baby, like the monkey the wireframe monkey that dressed in towels for that one experiment about monkeys bonding with their mother and a mother figure.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing about that
Yeah.
in AP psychology for a
Yep.
moment when I picked my head up from my desk and looked around.
Oh, see, after Dragon Chan is Masked Muscle.
Can you turn that down? Cool. I mean, we'll still hear her. It's
If
just
she screams, we'll hear it.
it's just ghost sounds right now when it's next to the mic like that. It sounds like we're paranormal activity or something.
And Masked Muscle is frustrating because Dragon Chan cheats by kicking, but like Masked Muscle really cheats.
Masked Muscle is what is that? Mexican wrestling,
a luchador.
And he is a bastard because this is. I keep saying this is the first one I had problems because it's weird because it feels like I would get past a fighter and then now all of a sudden now that I'm past it and know his patterns, I'm good. Like that fighter is no longer going to be a problem to me. But Masked Muscle took me so long because he deals massive damage and his trainer will command him to spit in your eyes. Mm-hmm. And when
So you see him like bite into his glove and then spits this dust into your eyes, which fucks you up if
Yeah.
it hits you. Because everything goes gray and you can't punch. And then he just goes nuts with a flurry of punches that you have no choice but to dodge or block.
And he's got a one hit knockout pretty much, doesn't he? His uppercut.
Yeah.
And that like I'd inevitably dodge like all of them while I was blinded and feel pretty good. And then he just nailed me with that
His uppercut and his headbutt.
Oh yeah, the headbutt.
His headbutt
That's
is-
what I was thinking.
yeah.
Man, that headbutt is devastating.
So my head canon
Yeah.
is that Masked Muscle is Super Macho Man.
Oh.
Puts on that because their sprites are swapped. They copy a few boxers' bodies, like Dragon Chan and Hikaru are a palette swap, and so are Masked Muscle and and Macho Man. But I feel like Super Macho Man is like he's too famous. He wants to get down and dirty. He's such a spectacle, so he becomes the mass muscle just to get dirty with some noobs and fight.
But they don't look like each other though. Do they? Or did I just miss that?
They
do. I guess I just missed that. Because I totally...
They have the same posture and they're tan and muscular.
Yeah, but they're not like Final Fantasy style palette swaps. Like they don't look identical.
No.
But they're just kind of clones
very, very
of one
similar,
another.
yeah.
Okay.
And then after him is Sandman.
Yeah, I had a hard time with Sandman, who I think is modeled after Muhammad Ali. At least in the ring, like when they show the portraits and everything, like I think he looks like a monster of a man, which doesn't look like Muhammad Ali to me there, but like in the ring, I think that's definitely where they pulled the inspiration from.
Because he was after, I'm not sure why they lost to Mike Tyson's and became just regular Punch Out with Mr. Dream.
Well, Mike Tyson allegedly went crazy.
Oh, okay, allegedly.
He also did some things that I don't think are alleged. I think he was convicted for. We'll leave that for a whole nother Mike Tyson episode.
Because I think Mr. Dream is Sandman. Yeah.
Maybe they're brothers.
I hope so. It makes sense. Mr. Dream, Mr. Sandman.
Close friends.
Mr. Sandman he's tough. He is the first guy you fight that has like major defense. Major defense.
He's got a lot of hit points.
And his recovery time is fast. Like you see, some boxers will take more from body shots and some take more from face shots. Sandman takes more from face shots, but his recovery from being like counterpunched or trying to land a super punch on his face is a hard thing to do.
I prefer delivering face shots, Tyler. How about you?
No, I gotta put it on the body.
Body shots. Okay, that's fine.
I get all over their tummy.
That's
all
good.
Over their tummy.
That's good. Sometimes you got to work the body.
After Sandman, then you go to the World Circuit. Starting off with I don't like Bob Charlie, my absolute least favorite fighter in this game is Aaron Ryan.
Aaron Ryan, he's an Irish dude.
It says in the book he's trained his body to be tough because he was made fun of his name his whole life.
Oh, interesting. I don't think that's a bad name.
So yeah, the boys in Ireland thought it sounded too feminine, and they would beat him up, and it made him get real tough.
A real boy named Sue.
Yeah.
Except he's named a boy's name.
Exactly.
Man, Ireland is tough. The mean streets of Ireland.
Where Shannon is an acceptable man's name, but Aaron is not. But he takes almost no damage from regular punches. It takes forever to wear him down. The only way to do considerable damage, it's like he's almost weaker to super punches. But once you super punch him, he flies back and gets angry and comes up and grabs you and leeches your health away and adds to his.
The classic Irish vampire.
The classic Irish vampire. And he has a brutal, where his trainer will call out, and then he'll do the same thing as Piston Hurricane, only his punches are a lot harder and it goes on for longer.
Yeah. They seem faster too.
Yeah. So the only way really is you have to just chain super punches, because super punch him to send him back, and then as he's charging forward, super punch him again so he flies back again, and do that 3 times, and that's what it takes to knock him down.
Do you think he is the master of Piston Hondo and Piston Hurricane?
Probably. It makes sense.
So maybe their dojo
sense.
is definitely deep within a dungeon in Ireland.
Because he's one of the last fighters that has that sort of that technique of stepping aside then coming back with a brutal pattern.
Do you think that Piston Hondo and Piston Hurricane are his vampire spawns?
I do now. Yeah, that's gonna be
new head fiction.
After Aaron Ryan, then it's Hickey Kagero, who I still think of Hickey Kagero as a girl, although I know it is a boy.
Yeah, I think he's like a kabuki
theater.
performer, yeah.
Yeah. Quick, hard to read, and
incredibly difficult
Yeah.
to read. I got past Mr. Sandman, but like I didn't even try the next circuit because like it took me so long to beat Mr. Sandman. It was just like, I think this is like a foregone conclusion. I want to finish this game someday. I just can't do it right now.
But Hickey Kagero is just kind of, it's a big change of pace from the big brutes you're kind of getting used to. And then she has basically just blurs all over the screen, and then you have trouble hitting, and all of a sudden come back together and do a devastating combo. The hair combo will straight knock you out if both flings of the hair hit you.
I was about to say, explain a hair combo to us because like out of the blue, that sounds really weird.
Because he charges in and swings the hair down to the side once and then swings the hair down. So like I've managed to still retain this muscle memory of dodge to the side, duck. Because that's the only way you have to do that sequence to avoid all damage. Because the hair does a huge amount of damage to you. That is Hikikaro's power move.
Tonight's episode brought to us by hair combos. When you're out of pizza, cheddar, and pretzel combos, hair combos.
Hair combos. After that is Mad Clown.
Mad Clown, which is Bear Hugger.
Yeah.
Right. You beat Bear Hugger. He goes home. He's really sad. He John Wayne Gacy's it and comes back to the ring to murder you. Because he is exactly like Bear Hugger.
Exactly.
Like he's wearing the same suspenders, they're just different colored. And he's got makeup on, and he is really, really, really creepy.
Because I think something about him being, his story was he used to be an opera singer, and he got kicked out of the opera.
No, he's Bear Hugger. He is Bear Hugger.
Because their movesets are similar.
Yeah.
Because they'll have the down sweeping punch, and then the side punch and the charge. The only thing that's really different is Mad Clown is faster, and Mad Clown will throw juggling balls at you.
During Showtime.
Yeah, the third round is
where he goes into hyper mode.
Showtime, yeah.
And he's super fast and super annoying.
Yep. But he's not terribly difficult.
I thought he's my least favorite of the boxer opponents.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like he was super, super easy to like, they didn't really stretch themselves creatively. They were just like,
not.
Clown. I don't know. We need another fighter. How about Bear Hugger Clown?
Just
done.
Do we change the moves? Like a little bit, but not really.
Give him some balls or something. No, trust me, no one's gonna get past hair combo.
And then last, the champion of the world circuit is Super Macho Man.
Randy Savage.
Randy Savage. This is a Muscle Beach kind of boxer. He's an older man. I feel like he's kind of patterned after Ric Flair.
What is Muscle Beach?
Muscle Beach is in California. It's where all like the really ripped dudes work out on all this gym equipment on the beach.
Who's the governor of Muscle Beach?
It's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, okay.
No, but I feel like Super Macho Man is patterned after Ric Flair because he's an older guy with white hair, but he's still like really muscular. All his trainer will yell out exercise sets, and he just spams a certain kind of move very quickly.
Is Ric Flair? He's a wrestler.
Yes.
Was he very vain?
Yes.
Okay, because Super Macho Man is definitely a very vain.
Second most vain person in the game.
Second most vain person, next to Little Mac.
Well, after you beat Macho Man, which my dad sadly never could, he'd always.
That is impressive for a dad to get that far.
It is.
I really feel like that's
especially he played it casually. He didn't like really sit down and devote a ton of time to it.
We had all the sticks to pick up because you weren't doing it.
Macho Man is frustrating because he has a move where he spins in a circle and it does a huge amount of damage. And his pattern varies. Sometimes he'll do the circle once. I've seen him do it 7, 8, 9 times where you just
in a row,
duck, and
that's ridiculous.
It feels like it's just doing it until you fuck up, and then you're just dead. So he is a challenging fighter just because they really press the moves on you. And then if you go through the minor, major, and world circuits unscathed, no losses, unlocks the special circuit.
Which is impossible. We all know that's impossible.
It's impossible.
You can't do it. It cannot be done.
We're making it up at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Nintendo, hire us. We got some ideas for you. We want to go back in time and add this to Super Punch Out.
And the first one in the special circuit is Narcissus Prince.
Narcissus Prince.
Narcissus Prince.
AKA juiced up Kevin McAllister.
Yeah. Yep. If Kevin McAllister was from England, went to Oxford, because he's got
he totally looks like Kevin McAllister.
He does. And he's the kind of sort of the English fop type character.
Yeah.
He tells you can't touch my face.
Right.
And that is he's
because I just put aftershave on it and it really burns. Don't do it.
I don't think you can beat him within the time limit if you don't punch his face. And each time you try, he'll block it. You have to wait for him to do an uppercut, hit him in the stomach, and then very quickly hit him in the face. And once you hit him in the face, he flies into a rage.
He is really mad.
Loses all defense. His offense goes through the roof, but he telegraphs his punches pretty easily. So then just focus on his face. I think he's he shouldn't really be in the special circuit. He's interesting, but he's way too easy. Macho Man is harder.
This is the first time that I saw a boxer's portrait, and then they switch views to the actual ring, and I've been like, what the fuck? Because like the portrait, he looks like a little boy essentially, and then it cuts to this like very boyish face on this like
Muscular
really
man.
weirdly muscular man. And he's wearing like I don't know, some kind of like,
It's a varsity sweater vest.
it's really weird. It's really weird. And is that what the V on it stands for? Varsity?
I believe it stands for varsity.
That is dumb. But in a really charming way. But that is dumb.
And then after Narcissus Prince, shift gears to what I think is the most difficult boxer in the game, Hoy Carlo,
Hoy Carlo.
who is like 100-year-old Japanese man who fights with a walking stick.
Yeah.
And
for longing.
he is the epitome of like every old man badass you've ever seen in any movie.
In any anime.
Yeah, because he's
Certainly.
lightning fast, does an incredible amount of damage. I think he's the only boxer without a trainer because he's so fucking old.
Oh, I didn't even think about the trainer.
Yeah.
Here's what I thought was weird about him. The same thing about juiced up Kevin McAllister, because he comes out and he is also like tall, which I realize you've got to be tall, right? Or else Little Mac's punches aren't going to work the way they're supposed to work. But like, because you see this trope in anime, and it's always the old man with the walking stick is always like really small. So it was just really weird to see him come out and he's just
Huge
like
one.
just regular size old dude.
Because he's the first boxer that you have to alternate your punches between left and right. You'll get used to like favoring just doing like a left jab over and over and over again, but you have to alternate between right cross, left jab, because when you hit him, he sways from side to side. So you have to be careful to alternate so you can build your special meter. And he has a few more patterns than all the other boxers. Like you have to know like 6 different move sets to know what is coming from him.
Your baby's beeping. Robot baby needs you, Tyler.
That was about. After you beat Hoy Carlo, then the last 2 boxers, the Bruiser brothers, Rick and Nick.
Rick and Nick Bruiser.
But Rick Bruiser is sort of 2 pierced ears. He talks a lot of shit. His style is sort of all out offense, not a lot of defense.
Come on.
Yeah, he counter punches everything you do.
He looks like Bruce Willis to me.
I see
With
that.
earrings.
Yeah, you're right. He's not terribly difficult. It's interesting seeing someone. He's got a lot of health, and his punches are devastating. But if you dodge him, he's not that difficult. But then Nick Bruiser is a completely different beast.
Nick
is I think Hoy Carlo's more difficult, but it's very, very close.
I don't know, man. Watching you play, I think Nick was far and away more difficult because, like, you made short work of Hoy. Like, it took like you two tries, but like, man, I saw you try Nick several times.
It did take me 6 or 7 tries.
And this isn't like a criticism. It's just that I could tell that this was a really, really hard fight.
Your dodges on, because he doesn't just like punch. He lunges at you at a incredibly fast speed. So your dodge has to be like perfect in order to get out of the way of his punches, because he will. His punches are very fast. He has a lot of health. He can stun your. If you punch him too much, he gets angry, and he will then hit your fist.
I don't understand why you get angry if you're punching him.
And then it'll stun your fist, and you can't use that one for like 5 seconds. And then he does like Hoy Carlo and sways side to side. So if he breaks one of your gloves, then you can only hit him once, and then that's all you get until you can alternate back and forth.
And he will deal damage through your blocks.
Yes.
Yeah.
He has a pattern where you hear like this construction sound, and it's slow and methodical, but no matter what you block it, you're still taking a decent chunk of damage.
It's akin to the Piston Hurricane.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say exactly because it's definitely slower.
It's like he doesn't move to the side. He just does it in the middle of the ring. You just hear the, and then just like an unstoppable train, he's just coming at you.
Well, why does he stop it? He could just win. He could just win the fight if he just did that the whole time.
Keeps doing it. But yeah, he has never been beaten. His record is like
Well, you beat him.
42 and 0. I beat him.
I saw that. It was pretty good. Pretty good.
But once you beat him, and then I like the ending because you get to see all the portraits of the boxers, and they tell you how they felt about after fighting you. So the ending I thought was pretty enjoyable.
They do a really good job on Nick, I think, because they make him. They definitely, even though he is pretty much a copy of his brother, like they look the same except he's more tan.
Yeah.
I think he has different eye colors. He's got like green eyes, but they do such a good job, like with the way he's animated, that make him just seem like a badass. Because like he comes out and he's just like a robot essentially. Like he just comes out. There's no like funny things about him. Like all the boxers.
His intro is just silence.
Like all the boxers you've been fighting up against like are kind of like outlandish, but like this dude is just like straight up, I'm here to whoop your ass. And then like when he knocks you out, he will go to the side of the ring and he'll just stand there and look out at the audience. And like he's so big, like he is so big that when he stands there, his head clips into the health bar. Yeah. It is amazing because it's like, and it's not like an error. Like it's designed to look that way. And like just there's something psychological about the giant dude who just knocked you out, like physically intrudes your health bar. Like that is psychological.
And then when you knock him out, because he doesn't sit down for very long, he'll stand up and then just like, he's frustrated. He's like, what the fuck am I doing? And he just hits himself in the head a few times and then turns around and slowly walks back to fight you. But yeah, and then after, in the closing credits, because Rick taunts you the whole time, but then when you get to Rick is like 41-1, his only loss being against his brother. And he's like, you beat me. I'm okay with it. Nick's pretty upset though. And then we get to Nick, it's like, I cannot believe I lost to you. In credits, and then it's you, Little Mac, knocking Nick out, and he's just on the mat.
That's Super Punch Out.
That's Super Punch Out.
What do you think of this game, Tyler?
I love this game.
Yeah,
I like what you said. It's like this is like you mean it in the best possible way. This is just like boss battle after boss battle.
Yeah, it's a boss gauntlet because it is all about pattern recognition and taking advantage of weak points. It's which normally I don't like boss gauntlets in a game, like in a platformer. I think it's annoying because you've been platforming the entire game, and guess what? You got to fight 8 bosses back to back. But what is different about this game is it's nice because there's no platforming. That's all it is. All it is fighting a boss. It's like every time you go into a fight, you're just fighting a boss. And I think that's really cool because you can just focus on that. You don't have to worry about any other elements. You don't have to worry about any kind of different gameplay. It's just that's the game. And I think that's really cool.
And you look forward to seeing who's next and what they're about. And because
they do such a good job with the character design. And it's a joy to see the next fighter. I will say that this game isn't nearly as racist as Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, which I would like to say I'm a big enough person where like I was glad that it wasn't, but I will be honest with you, I was a little disappointed because Mike Tyson's Punch-Out is like so overtly racist that it is humorous.
Because what they changed it, because I remember Soda Popinski and Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
Right.
They changed that from vodka.
Something about vodka.
Yeah.
Right. Because he's a Russian dude, vodka. And then they had the Indian dude with the turban in the gym. Yeah. He was in Mike Tyson's Punch Out. So like they toned that back a little bit. Which is a good thing.
They toned back to like 40s Disney kind of
racism. Yeah, they didn't Song of the South this one, but they did certainly in Mike Tyson's Punch Out, which is a good thing. It's just not nearly as funny because it is funny to see a corporation like 30 years later and just be like, I cannot believe that like people just played this and was like, yeah, this is pretty much how things are.
I hope Nintendo Japan was like, what? Just send it to America. It's fine.
Put it in the vault. Put it in the vault.
Do you have any achievements?
I've got a couple achievements.
Yeah.
Which is usually an indicator that I like this game, which I did. I thought this was a really good game. I think that this is going to make me really look at the next IGN games that we do in a more difficult light because they have a lot to live up to because I thought this game was so good.
Yeah.
First achievement I got is called Would You Kindly? And in order to unlock Would You Kindly, you have to defeat Andrew Ryan's younger brother, Aaron Ryan, the Vampire of Ireland, who's trained many disciples in Spawn in the art of the piston hurricane, the piston style,
Yeah.
which he learned from Nick and refined it.
They're trying to emulate Nick Bruiser, and this is what they got.
Exactly.
Okay.
Second achievement I got is Nick Jr. And in order to unlock Nick Jr., you have to beat Rick Bruiser because Rick Bruiser is Nick Jr. That's all I got.
Let's see. I've got Toro, which is you one punch, knock out Bald Bull.
All right.
Rocky Marciano. You unlock that by running the whole thing undefeated.
Now, is that a guy in a movie?
Rocky Marciano is a boxer. I can't remember the exact date, but he's a heavyweight champion that went completely undefeated.
This is a real guy.
A real guy.
This is not the guy from the Rocky movies, which I
It-
have not seen.
It is not. Rocky Marciano is a very old, back when white people were really good at boxing.
Yeah.
He was.
Wow, it sounds like you're just bringing back Mike Tyson's Punch-Out era.
Well, back when it was like a, what's the word I'm thinking about? Like a gentrified sport where it was just,
Oh, like dudes with curly mustaches boxing kangaroos?
yes. Like it was, because like, yeah, the whole like fisticuffs kind of style, like
Yeah.
that boxing. He was the heavyweight champion.
The Ron Swanson School of Boxing.
Yeah, exactly. Because he was like 30-0 or something like that, and then just retired on top.
So the Rocky-
most everybody that I remember, I think Oscar De La Hoya retired undefeated, and then of course he's like, oh, I'm gonna come back and got beat.
Does Rocky in the movies ever fight a kangaroo?
I know he has a robot butler at one point.
Okay, maybe I'm in. I might watch that one.
I think that's Rocky 3.
He never fights Kangaroo Jack or whatever that dude's name was.
Shut up.
That's the crossover that needs to happen. That's what I'd like. I would love to reskin this game and just put Kangaroo Jack in there. Let's just throw some weird characters in there. Let's do it.
Let's see, and then the one-armed man. You unlock the one-armed man by knocking out a bruiser brother while you have one of your hands disabled.
Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
I've had a really good time. I feel like
Good game. It was a good game.
it's
good
a
time.
good game, and I feel like we brought TADPOG back to its roots, and I feel like we needed that, and we needed to kind of like refocus and get all our shit together and have a really good just you and me time that we can share with the internet.
Yeah.
So I've got a very important question for you. A barrage of questions, a gauntlet, if you will. The first being, how much is this game on Amazon? Tyler, what I want to know is, how much is this game used on Amazon? Super Punch-Out
Yeah.
for the Super Nintendo.
Because I feel like it didn't have as much critical success as it should have.
Okay, that factors into price.
So I feel like it's probably a little more rare because it wasn't bought a lot.
Okay, I like the way you're thinking.
I want to say $28.
$28. Tyler, actual retail value of Super Punch-Out for the Super Nintendo on Amazon used at the time of this recording is $14.69. I say that's a steal.
That's a good deal.
I really do. I say that's a steal. Like I would easily pay $15 for this game.
It's good.
I would. I wish that I could buy this game on the eStore because I would play this game on my 3DS, like no questions asked. Like this would be.
It would
perfect.
look so good too.
I know.
Man.
This would be like a perfect. Like we're about to go to Dragon Con. This will like be a perfect play on the way to Dragon Con game. Because it's not your stationary, right? Little Mac's stationary, so it's not like you have to worry about tracking movement a whole lot. You just have to watch for patterns. I think it'd be perfect. And I think it's a really big shame that there are no Super Nintendos on the eStore. There are no Super Nintendo games. What are you doing, Nintendo? You're killing me.
Because I know Punch-Out is on the eStore, and I think it's only the Mr. Dream version. You can't find the Mike Tyson's Punch-Out version.
Well, I may get that. I'll have to settle for that, I guess. I've got some other questions for you, Tyler. Yeah. If you were to give this game a beard, because that's what we do on the show, we don't like to give grades, right? Or numbers. That's just beneath us. Let's be honest. It's beneath us. So if you were to give this game a beard that just told the world how you felt about it, what kind of beard would you give it?
The beard I would give this beard is pre-prison, pre-rape charges, and it's prime Iron Mike Tyson.
He has a beard? I thought he just had the face.
He has a mustache.
Oh, okay. Does his face tattoo count as a beard?
It should. But that's like
that's post. That is
didn't
way
have
post.
not until he went nuts, and it was
Went nuts. Let's put that in quotation marks.
well, Troubadour Sam's posted a video that it's so good. It was Mike Tyson basically doing like evasion training, and you get to see like when he was really young. Like it's easy in lieu of all like his craziness to forget like how fucking good he was.
Oh, he's still terrifying.
Oh man, and it's like I remember him being like his punches just being like devastatingly hard punches. But like watching the video, it's like motherfucker was hard to hit. Like it's unreal. Like his evasion and taunts, and then how he'll come up and just lay motherfuckers out. I'll put the video in the show notes. It is worth watching.
Can you also put the videos? I think there's a compilation video on YouTube of like his interviews, which are like notoriously hilarious because he's a great boxer, not a great speaker, unless he's like really trying to be funny. Because if he's trying to do that, man, he's really good. Really, really, really good.
If he's when he's making fun of himself, he's good.
Yeah. Tyler.
Yes, Dave.
I wear glasses. So I'm really more concerned about glasses. And like everything I think about, I would say I look at the world through like a glasses point of view and not really a beard point of view. So what I'm really curious about is what kind of glasses you would give this game.
Okay, go on a ride with me.
Okay. Where are we
Glasses.
going?
Glasses. What do glasses do?
Well, they help you see.
What's another like word for sight?
Vision.
Vision.
Okay.
So I'm giving.
Take me there.
I'm giving this the vision of Muhammad Ali.
Like if Muhammad Ali became the Marvel character and then helped the Avengers?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So Android Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali.
Okay.
Who helps Norse gods and
Right.
billionaire playboys.
Yeah. Let's not forget
defeat
Patriots.
mutants and patriots.
Okay. Perfect. I don't see a problem with that at all.
Those are all qualifiable boxers for the next Punch Out.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks for listening, everybody. We just talked a lot about Super Punch Out, pretty much straight for like over an hour.
Great. I think it's a great episode. That's pretty rare for me to say, too. I must really mean it.
It's everybody buy one of those used copies on eBay. It's worth it.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. You can find our show on iTunes or Stitcher, so you don't miss the next episode. I'm not entirely sure what we're talking about. I think it's Donkey Kong Country 2. I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Maybe it's Tetris
It's
Attack.
Tetris Attack or Donkey Kong Country 2.
Yeah,
I think it's one
it's
or the
either
other.
something we're going to like or be ambivalent to.
Yeah. one of these things we're going to argue about.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of looking forward to that, but at the same time, I'm kind of not looking forward to that because we both tend to like just dig in and not have good conversation. It's just like I think it's good, I don't, and then it's just like that's
I
it.
don't want to talk about our dicks. Yep.
Yep. Oh, so it's gonna be a good episode. That's what you're saying. Tune in.
While you're there, don't forget to subscribe. Give the show a 5-star rating, write a review. Helps us out more than you can imagine. So much. Now we're up to 74 5-star reviews and 1 3-star review.
Right.
It's very helpful for those 5-star reviews. It's
Absolutely.
even better if you write a review.
Right.
And we further incentivize you to help us out. If there's a game you want us to talk about or a guest host you want for any kind of upcoming show that you know about.
Yep. Or if you want to leave us your emergency contact phone number.
And we'll call your parents if you get in a wreck. You
Right.
can call us first.
Yeah.
So if you want to do that, just include this message. Include whatever you want in that 5-star review, and we will get to that eventually.
I want to actually also thank Lord Dennis, who is starting a movement where all the TADPOG listeners' wives now give 5-star reviews. So we should like expect to like double our 5-star numbers like just overnight. So if Lord Dennis hasn't contacted you yet, go ahead and pause the episode. Look next to your wife because I know she's listening with you. I know you guys listen together.
Like the Daily Show. It's weird. They talk about the Daily Show. Like a lot of people have sexed the Daily Show.
Well, that's like the Late Show and all that. Like people said that for years. People like just fuck to Letterman.
So like I think that's probably we're about in that category. We're about that caliber. So you probably know right before. I know that's what Phil Hawkins does.
I don't know how you feel about it, but I feel really good thinking about just like two sweaty, just human beings who are in love with each other, just climaxing.
Or hate fucking.
to our
That's fine
voice.
too.
Well, I mean, I would kind of prefer that it was like a nice, loving kind of thing. But if hate fucking's what you're into, then I maybe I need to change the tone of my voice.
if it's hate fucking that you're into.
So I'm looking forward to all the wives of TADPOG Nation to give us their 5-star reviews so we can just double our numbers.
It'd be nice.
Thank you, Dennis.
Dave, our theme song. Mm-hmm. We don't have anybody to ask.
We don't have anyone to ask. We're also not to that point yet.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Like Tyler said, we will be back next week. In the meantime, if you can't get enough TADPOG goodness, you can always find us on tadpog.com. That's where the show notes live. We're probably going to have like some Muhammad Ali stuff. He may or may not be an android. I don't know. We'll let you be the judge. Mike Tyson might be saying funny stuff. I hope that happens. I mean, I know that footage is out there. So please go there. You can also find us on Facebook. We're at facebook.com. There are a lot of cool people there doing just a lot of cool shit. We normally will post the episode on the Facebook page, and then people will comment on the show. So
it's some way you could listen to it that might not be blocked at work if they allow Facebook at your work.
Yeah. It's also, I feel like, short of calling us, it's the best way of letting us know how you felt about a particular episode because we do all the posts separately. So if you loved this episode, let us know on Facebook. You can also find us on Twitter. We are at @TADPOG_podcast. It is cumbersome. I realize the person who has the TADPOG handle they won't let it go, despite virginity theft, Taryn's best attempts.
Because Jacob of Wolffighting fame informed me that I believe TADPOG only follows one of the guys from Duck Dynasty and like maybe one of the Pawn Stars, and that's it. So I'm increasingly think it's somebody we know.
So what you're saying is they're a reality TV connoisseur.
Yeah.
The full cast of The Bachelor. They love The Bachelor. You can also call us if you want. That's another good way of letting us know how you feel. We love it when you call. Try to keep it to 3 minutes if you can. We love questions. We love questions, and keep it video game related, and we're more likely to play it. We get a lot of calls, so we're in like we really analyze all these calls, and like we've got like an 18-point system where we have charts. We chart it and like rank it, and like only the best ones get played. That's not true. We pretty much play everything, but sometimes I forget a call. So there might be a call from like 3 months ago. If we haven't played it yet, it's not because we thought it sucked. It's just because I forgot it was there. So if you want to go ahead and do that and just throw your voice into the void, feel free to give us a call at 270-883-2555. Operators are standing by. We also sell zoo books. If you would like to buy a subscription to zoo books, also call that number. Let us know. We do accept major credit cards, and if it is a gift, please include the name of the recipient, and we will be sure that it is personalized.
Also, my school gave me a magazine, and I'm selling gift wrap and expensive chocolate.
Yes.
Just for some reason, I might get a bracelet out of it if I sell a whole lot.
But if I sell 2 million points worth, I will get a trip to Virginia.
God, I hate that bullshit so much. God, I'm glad. Like, I would get super excited, but thankfully my parents are just like, look at it, trash can.
This is bullshit.
You're not bothering anybody with this.
Yeah.
But I can get a bookmark.
God, it was I don't understand why schools like let that, like public schools that we pay taxes for, were like, all right, come on in, talk to our kids, hand this shit out.
But Dave, our theme song.
Yes, Tyler.
It is Moves.
Yep, I think that's right.
Sycamore Drive.
I think you nailed it.
Track to that can be found in the show notes.
A link to that track.
A link to that track.
A link before time.
That's what the other guy says. I don't know. Can you find the show notes at TADPOG.com?
Yes, I believe you're right. I do.
So until next time. You got something?
I do have something.
Did I forget something else?
No, you didn't forget something
Okay.
else. But I want to say, remember what Nicole said about how we say tropical Capricorn. Okay? Just keep that in mind.
It must have been lunatic because I don't remember.
She said that we say it, that Brandon's initial interpretation of tropical Capricorn and versus our like milk toast.
Okay.
So I feel like we need to work on tropical Capricorn.
Okay.
Okay? We haven't rehearsed this. Let's just this is a dry run. Let's just go ahead and we'll try it.
Okay.
All right.
So until next time. Tropical Capricorn!
That was pretty good. I feel like everyone knows exactly what we said there.
And Nicole should love us like 0.1% more.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're about to GM Nicole love.
Not even Josh has done that yet. Tapped out twice.
I'm tapped out. Actually, I could probably go again. Just those two were in rapid succession. I made the mistake of leaving the video on. Because like I got back and I was like, all right.
I'm familiar with Aftershock. Where it's like as soon as you're done, you're like, I got some more. There's some more gas in the tank.
Yeah. Yeah, if I'd have stopped that video, it would have been a different story. But